protection. Help us understand what is social protection.
Thank you very much, Kirabo. Good morning, viewers. Again, like it has been mentioned, my name is Beatrice Okilan. I work with the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. I work as a social protection policy and advocacy coordinator. Before I take you to the definition of what social protection is, maybe I need to just give an overview of what Ministry of Gender does. Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development has a mandate to mobilize and empower communities to harness their potential for cultural growth, for labor productivity, for skills development, for social protection, and general community development. It is on that we get the mandate to implement social protection. So, on the question of what social protection is, social protection is about ensuring that all individuals, including and especially those that are vulnerable, live dignified lives and are protected from socio-economic risks. It is about programs or policies that are put in place to address risks and vulnerabilities across the life cycle. These risks and vulnerabilities may inhibit or curtail an individual from achieving their full potential. And so, this social protection is about protecting this individual from falling into poverty, and in case they fall there, to enable them to get out of it. Before I take you to the definition of what social protection is in the Ugandan context, I want to take you through what some of these risks could be. From the time a human being is conceived in the mother's womb, there are risks and vulnerabilities that this person is likely to face that will curtail this person from attaining their potential. For example, when a child is conceived by a mother, and this mother is not able to access proper nutrition, this child will not be able to develop cognitively, but also physically. You will find that these kind of children might be stunted, might be underweight. And indeed, in our context, in the Ugandan context, the studies have indicated that about 24% of the Ugandan children are stunted. 24%? Then when you get...
That's a big number.
Yes. When you move from that stage of after the child is being born, there are also other risks and vulnerabilities that this child can encounter. One such risk is that this person might not be able to access immunization services. The child might not be able to go to school, maybe because the family is unable to pay the requirements, for the requirements. There are issues of child labor. There are issues of the environment, home environment where these children grow up, issues of abuse, issues of neglect. Those are all risks that will make this child not achieve the potential. When you get to the youthful age, the youth are affected. The risks such as unemployment. You'll find that the youth who are, the level of unemployment of the youth is double the national average. They do not have skills. Remember, these children could have fallen off school, and the statistics indicate that less than 50% of the children who enroll in primary one are able to transition to secondary. And so when you get to that youthful stage, you find that most of them do not have employable skills that will give them decent work. So those are the risks that they also face. Many times it leads them to, leads to stress, peer pressure, and you find them involved in substance and drug abuse. All those need to be addressed through social protection. At the adulthood working age, There are issues of unemployment, underemployment, and loss of jobs. Those ones affect us at this working age. There are issues of caregiving. We have many responsibilities to take care of. There are issues of ill health. There are issues of stress. All these affect people at various stages in life. And then, when you get to the point of old age, you see the issues of frailty, weakness of body. We are not able to work the way we have been working. We are not able to get money. There are poverty levels. The poverty levels of the older persons is double the national average. Their poverty level is at 45%. They are not able to access loans. Their habitation, where they live, is very poor environment. They are left alone. They are abandoned. Those are some of the things that they face. But also, these older persons take care of children. About a third of the older persons take care of children, grandchildren. So you see, all these risks come upon these persons, and this need to be addressed through social protection. But even at that life cycle, you might find that there are also other risks that come on. For example, the risks of disability. A disability can come at any time in life. There are various accidents. It can be occupational accidents. It can be the accidents that happen on the road, and somebody is not able to work, is not able to provide for their communities, for their households. So this is all what is addressed under social protection. But also the issue of ill health. When you look at ill health, when ill health comes into the house, you see that the way people cope, how do they access this treatment? There are various ways that people cope, and the most common now is that people sell their land, people sell their assets to treat their people. I have an example. Just before COVID, an older man from my village fell sick, and the wife called me that the husband was sick, the back was painful, and he was paralyzed, he could not walk. So we mobilized money. She said we needed money to mobilize 500,000 for consultation. So we mobilized. They went for consultation. But when it came to treatment, they needed surgery, and the surgery needed 8 million. So this person, what did they have to do? They had to sell their land that they had bought. They had to sell some of their cows in order to treat the person. Well, the person improved, but you see that by when he comes back home, he has fallen into poverty. So these are the risks that we see, that we encounter. But also, let alone, apart from those individual risks that affect us individuals, but there are also risks that affect us as a community. You can see the natural disasters. They are frequent, they are common, they are we can almost know that after 2 or 3 years we shall have a drought, we shall have a flood, we shall have a landslide. All these affect our people, our communities, affect their livelihoods, affect their potential. So this is what social protection actually addresses. So
you've given us the various vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Right from once a child is born, malnutrition, then going ahead, vaccination, call it immunization. Then at the work level, you've shown accidents, loss of a job. You've continued to the elderly level. There were a number of vulnerabilities because of body weaknesses, age diseases, all that come, and of course being unemployed. Now, these are vulnerabilities. Now, let's look at the social protection itself. Because now you've given us circumstances where one is vulnerable and they need what we call social protection.
Yes.
So break that giant.
Yes. Yes, so what is this social protection? Like I say, that social protection is about ensuring, is in the Ugandan context, we define it as public and private interventions to address risks and vulnerabilities that may lead to income shocks and social deprivation, leading to dignified lives, undignified lives. So it is what interventions are put in place to prevent. It's about preventing this. It could be to prevent these vulnerabilities. It could be to support people to get out of the vulnerabilities, or even to protect them so that they do not get severely affected. So that is what it is. In our context here, social protection has two pillars. One is the social security pillar, and then the second one is the social care and support services pillar. The social security pillar is concerned with ensuring, addressing risks that lead to income shocks. So just to protect, to ensure that people have income and they are able to maintain a certain standard of living, always that they will not live lives that are below humanity. See what below humanity. So that is what social security is all about. And it has two components. One is what we refer to as direct income support, which is regular and predictable cash or in-kind support that is given
regular
to those.
And predictable.
Yes.
So you're sure this will come regularly, and you can predict when it will come.
You will even know how much it is.
Like
you're expecting. That one, yes, it is. It's like the SAGE, for example.
Oh, yes.
Yes, for example, the SAGE. You know that the cash grant that is paid to older persons, they know that it will come, like it is paid every 3 months, that it will come after 3 months, and they know how much they are expecting, and so they can plan about it. So that is it, and it is given to those that are deprived, that are not able to access anything. So those who are deprived, for example, the older persons, those who worked, like now those who are benefiting from the SAGE, they worked, but they were not able to save, they don't have a pension, and yet they have to live dignified lives. So that is it. It is the SAGE. It can also be the labor-intensive public works, which is the cash for work given to young men who are able to work. They have their strength, they have their body ability, but maybe they are not able, they do not have the skills. So these use their energy, what they have, the energy that they have, to work, to develop some infrastructure. It can be maintaining infrastructure. For example, they can be hired for a short time to maintain roads, and then they are paid for a certain period of time, so that they can be able to earn for some time. They can also be hired to maybe plant trees. If there is need for planting trees, they can be hired to work on a water source, for example, or greening the environment. That is another kind of direct income support. And then also we can look at the grants that we give to, like, children with disabilities, people with disabilities. That is all under direct income support in our context in Uganda. Then the contributory aspect, which is the second component of social security, is when
the other one we termed it as
direct income support.
Direct income support.
Yes, we call it.
That you did not work for this.
Yes.
But government found it necessary.
Yes.
That when you clock 80 years, you don't have these other savings. There in the village, you get your 25,000.
Yes.
And that comes quarterly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so that is direct income, and it is not okay for Uganda because it's only the SAGE that we can see, but in other countries they give to persons with disabilities, persons with severe disabilities. They are also given. Some children also are given. Actually, we also have some programs here in Uganda, what we call the NutriCash, which supports pregnant and lactating mothers from the time they conceive. They give them some cash so that they are able to get proper nutrition, and so that they can be able to give birth to a child who is fully developed.
NutriCash.
Yeah, it's called NutriCash. So those are some of the programs.
I need to research more about NutriCash.
Yes, a direct income support. So the contributory, on the other hand, is a risk pooling arrangements. When you are still able to work, you contribute for unforeseen. But of course, some of these events, you know that they will happen. You contribute for ill health. When you fall sick, something to fall back to. You contribute to retirement. You contribute towards when you are unemployed, when you lose employment, or maybe if a disability happens, it could be a temporary disability, and you are not able to work, but if you have been contributing somewhere, you can contribute, and then when that shock actually happens, you have a fallback position. This one is meant to smoothen income, that when you get into that, when you get into retirement, you do not fall below the standard of living that you were living before. When you lose a job, you do not fall into poverty. So that is the contributory aspects. And you know, it is popularly said that most workers here in Uganda, they are just one salary away from poverty. When the salary doesn't come for 1 month, people are ready. So we need to learn to do that contributory, so that when those times come, we are able to. So that is that contributory. Then we have the second pillar of social care and support services is care and support that is provided to vulnerable groups, those who are not able to take care of themselves fully. For example, there might be an older person at home. We might have given this person the 25,000, 75,000, but that person is not able to take care of himself, is not able to take care of their hygiene, is not able to move. That support, the child with the disability, people with severe disabilities, they need to be cared for, they need to be supported, looked after almost 24 hours. So that care and support that is provided to those category of people is what is we refer to as social care and support services. And so under that social care and support services, we have 5 components. One is personal care, helping this person with daily living, even just feeding, even just walking, hygiene, even companionship. That is all social care. And then then we have what we call specialized care, which is care that is provided by qualified professionals, and this includes medical care that the persons with these vulnerabilities access. The care that is given to maybe persons with disabilities, those with mental health, all that we categorize as specialized care, rehabilitation services, psychosocial support services, and other therapies, all that is categorized as specialized care. Then we have what we call protection, primary protection, and that is protection from primary harm. For example, if you have a child at home, how do you protect that child from not being harmed? How do you ensure this child is not abused? How do you ensure that child is not neglected? So that is all under protection. And then there is what we call safeguarding as one of the components of social care. Safeguarding is that just in case this individual person needs to be taken to a care facility, or an institutionalized care. For example, we have maybe rehabilitation centers, we have places where children are taken care of. Then some older persons, you see their homes, it's not government policy, but there are homes that take care of them. But how do we ensure that even when those people are in that care, they are not harmed? What do you put in place to ensure that these people are not harmed? So that is called safeguarding. So that is also taken care of. And then finally, empowerment is the 5th component. And empowerment is ensuring that they have information, for example, that they have skills that they might need also to be able to, maybe even just to move, to support with the movement, to support with the going to school. There are those that, for example, children with disability, how can they access school? The issues of empowerment there. How do we ensure that they have they can be able to get livelihoods to survive? All that is under empowerment. Information, even just information, so that they are able to. And other linkages that you provide, so that is under. So that is what social protection is in our context here in Uganda.
What an elaborate, brief and definition of social protection. Indeed, now I know at least you've looked at the various avenues and why social protection is really important. Now, I'm going for a break. When I return, we want to look at the challenges and gaps when it comes to social protection? Because if it's this important, and when she was explaining, indeed you would see that each one of us needs social protection. If you don't need it now, there will come a time in your life when you need it. But let's go for this break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you very much for being with us on UBC TV. As I earlier said, we are in the Social Protection Month, and that is the month of October, and we shall crown it all with the National Social Protection Dialogue that will be held in Kampala. But I'm still with my guest in studios, Beatrice Okilan, who is the Coordinator, Policy and Advocacy, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Now, before we went for the break, I promised that having given us the importance and relevance of social protection, let's look at that.
Only just about 4% of the population can access some form of social protection. This is quite low compared to the African average, which is at 17%. You find that our economy is full of the informal sector workers. These informal sector workers do not have access to social protection. It is a big challenge. When you look at the issues of health, like we talked about, just about 3% of the population is able to access health insurance or medical insurance at that. That is what is available. Many people end up spending their money, what we call out of pocket. Almost 28% of the population. You have to have money first in order to access medical treatment.
Very true.
And yet, from the pilot that has been done on community-based health insurance schemes, you see that the households that have contributed to health insurance, when they fall sick, they will go for treatment very fast. Meaning that they will not lose time trying to take care of themselves because they have already saved, and they will go and get treatment, and they are able to continue with their work and increasing productivity. And unlike the ones who have not contributed, people will not go. They will first try to hang around hoping that it will go, and then they'll start taking certain things, and by the time they go, the disease has worsened, and then it reduces on their productivity. Those are some of the challenges. The other challenges that are happening is the issue of financing for social protection. The financing for social protection currently is low, and all the other social development programs.
Why is the funding low, yet we have the parliamentary forum that is on social protection? We have so much bodies that one would think would promote social protection for a better budget. Why do we these things acting this way? If there is, we expect people like you. You're there at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. You have the Parliamentary Forum. We have a number of NGOs, non-governmental organizations. And we've seen the relevance of social protection. I know members of Parliament even have a circle. They have that scheme where if you've served, is it 2 terms in Parliament? Then even if you don't return after serving your 2 terms, for the rest of your time, I think, you're going to be getting something almost equivalent to what we are getting. Apart from the allowances you may lose out of them. So they have social protection. The only challenge can be when you go for 1 term. I see one told me that, no, to benefit proper, you need to do 2 terms. So why is this then having less? Why are we even talking about funding issues? I remember in the recent budget, the budget for the financial year 2025-2024, one of the sectors that got less than even what they had got the previous was elements of social protection. Talk about SAGE, this whatever, removing switch, all aspects got less. Their budgets were cut tremendously.
Yes, I think the aspect of financing can be twofold when you look at our categorization of social protection. There is that social protection that is paid for by tax consolidated fund, which is the direct transfers which you talked about. That one, the experiences and studies around the globe, we have seen that some countries allocate a percentage of their natural resource income, and specifically oil, to social protection. So I think if Uganda also can consider allocating a percentage of some revenue from oil or other natural resources to social protection, then we can be able to improve on social protection.
Okay.
When you look at us with our neighbors, our funding for the social protection, especially direct income support, is just at 0.7% of the GDP. Oh, but when you look at Kenya, Kenya is at 1.4%. Tanzania is at 2.5%. Rwanda is at 1.3%. So we need to find how we can mobilize these resources to finance social protection. I think the other second aspect is on the contributory. People do not appreciate social protection yet. Maybe due to various reasons, the structures that have been, the systems that have been put in place, maybe people are not confident about those institutions, and so they are not able to contribute. And then there is an issue of awareness. People are not yet aware that they contribute. Now, for example, was amended, and now there is a voluntary scheme where at a certain point you can be able to access your money. So there are avenues government has opened up.
Regarding the National Social Protection Dialogue, Beatrice, what is going to be happening at this dialogue, and why now as we crown up the Social Protection Month?
Yes, the month of October, for the last 3 years, the country of Uganda, we have been commemorating it as a social protection month. During this month, we come together to reflect on what has been done. We reflect on the successes. We look at the challenges. We look at what are the emerging issues and what do we need to do better to improve social protection. So this is organized annually by the Minister of Gender in collaboration with the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection and the community of practice. And the community of practice are practitioners of social protection in Uganda and then development partners. So this month we have had various activities running. We had an international study visit to South Africa by high-level delegation to go and understand the issues of disability inclusion. The team went to Western Uganda in Chegegwa to look at a program that supports the teenage girls who have dropped out of school. And then now we are crowning it tomorrow, the 28th of October 2025, with a national dialogue on social protection. The objectives of this dialogue is, again, like I said, we need to reflect and share lessons and come up with solutions that will enable us take social protection to the next level. We also use this as an opportunity of mobilizing and coordinating, bringing partners together on social protection. So we are going to have various partners coming tomorrow to attend the national dialogue. They will come from the various districts. They will come to showcase what they do in social protection in the various districts. So we'll have either like those that are working on NutriCash. We shall see those that are working on cash for work programs. We shall also see those that are working on environmental and shock responsiveness, ensuring that social people are protected when shocks occur, and various exhibitions, whatever people are doing, it shall be showcased tomorrow. We also use this to increase on our advocacy, to create awareness. People need to know what social protection is. For example, now we have come here, you get to know what social protection is, you get to know where you can how you can actually contribute to social protection. So we are trying to heighten this awareness. That is the objective of this month. And then we'll also come up with ways on improving going forward, and taking into consideration that the government of Uganda is in the process of revising the national social protection policy. So we hope that we shall get contributions, emerging issues on what we need, on how we need to, what we need to address in order to enhance access to social protection. So tomorrow we want to welcome those. Participation is by invitation. Invitations have been sent online. Some have been sent by hard copy, and then also there is also online participation. Links have been sent. You can register and attend online. We have the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who will be our chief guest. And then we have international and national keynote speakers, and we have a lot of social protection experts that will be giving us information, giving us knowledge on social protection. So let us log in, let us come for those that are invited, and let us come and also look at what is happening through the exhibition that will be done.
Now, one would want to know, what do you intend to achieve out of this dialogue?
Yes, what we want to achieve is that we want to ensure that we have a harmonized and coordinated social protection system. We know that there are various interventions that are being done by various stakeholders. By coming together, we hope that we can bring them together, we can be able to harmonize, and we shall be able to coordinate. We also hope that we can be able to galvanize some advocacy, awareness on social protection, and also share emerging evidence on social protection, on the impacts of social protection, so that we can be able to attract more resources to social protection. We'll also want to share what is happening, what has government done, what is government planning to do together with the other stakeholders. So we share tomorrow. We hope we will share with all the stakeholders so that we are on one page, we are speaking the same language when we call upon, when we come to consultations, when we get to communities and we need stakeholders to support, we can work together. That is what I hope that we can achieve. But most ultimately, we hope that we can be able to get commitment to financing of social protection. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say that investment in social protection is investment in human capital. Mm. It is investment in resilience of the nation. Mm. It is investment in the dignity of the people. And studies or simulations have been done, and they indicate that investments in the returns on investments in social protection are equivalent to returns on investments on infrastructure.
Well, I just want to thank you so much, Beatrice Okalan, who happens to be the coordinator, policy and advocacy, Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Really, you've said it all when it comes to social protection. And the biggest that we can take home is we have to increase investment in social protection. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, our viewers, see you just in the next hour. Keep it with us on UBC TV.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it